Chairman Paul Rowe is unavailable tonight. He had a prior commitment, let us know a couple months ago he couldn't make it, so I'll chair the meeting tonight. We would all stand, I'll call the meeting to order. If we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public comment. Anybody have any public comment tonight? Okay.
I do, Don.
Okay.
When I was here in November and I reported to you the threat against my property by one of your firefighters, and the board had indicated they were going to do an investigation. Do you have any results to share with me? I've not heard anything.
There will be no investigation. You were asked at that meeting to provide the name. You said you were confronted by this fireman. You refused to give us that name, so until such time as you provide us with that name, there will be no investigation.
Okay, and do you think that maybe you guys should have let me know that? 3 months have gone by. And
You
this
were
same individual has now contacted one of my friends and stated that I turned him into the board and that his phone number is listed publicly, and I should have called him to discuss it with him. So it continues. You need to do something about it. Someone has talked to him because he knows. So it's one of these people on this board has talked to him. And you should have told me, Dawn, that you weren't going to do anything until I gave the name. It would have been irresponsible for me to put that name, his name, on the video. It wasn't up for public discussion at that point. And you agreed that there would be an investigation. And I said, and if they don't come through.
Anything, Mr. Rowe chaired that meeting, not me.
Well, that's true, and he's the chairperson of this, and he assured me that there would be an investigation.
Well, you have to show me that video, because I don't believe we said there was an investigation until you provided that name.
No, you didn't say that.
Well,
And I had indicated to you that if you surveyed your firefighters and none of them stepped forward to say that they had done that, that I would provide the name to you. So at the last board meeting in November, the chairperson indicated that the fire department budget was over budget. So I have a couple questions. I looked at your financial statement. So it shows charges or income from other units. Why does it only show $50,000? Is that just a partial funding?
2 units, Montville and White Pigeon.
But
They
the-
pay at different times. So we probably had not received it yet.
In November? Okay. So but it's still 50 per each of those units. Is that why it was over budget then, because you didn't have all your income yet?
I don't have that in front of me, but that's logical. We didn't have it received yet.
Okay. And I have just one other question. It's about the building improvements. What kind of funds are being used for the building improvements? I remember when the ARPA funds became available, there was something like $55,000 left over. And now I see that that line item is also over budget. Is that just because it hasn't been funded yet, or?
Time, 3 minutes. Thank you for your comments. I will address a couple of your questions at the end of the meeting. Jason Bingaman is not here.
Won't make it.
Pardon?
He's not coming.
You have the approval of the minutes for November 14th. Are any additions or corrections to these minutes? If not, minutes will stand as presented. Old business, update on the building improvements. Where are we at? We wrapping up on some of those?
Yeah, so the only thing I think we're hanging out there still is a little bit of the lighting, which Adam is supposed to come here Tuesday, Wednesday next week. He wants to do a walkthrough, see double check what's done. There's only one thing left to do, I think, but other than, they do have to figure out these sensors on the lights out in the engine bay.
Okay, they're still working on
Yeah, fighting the ceiling fans.
it? Okay. Replacement on a pumper truck, is that off the agenda?
Off the agenda, yeah, our last month's,
That was my fault for that
notes.
taking that off.
Okay, so that's not tabled, it's off the agenda.
yeah, your minutes should reflect last,
Yeah,
last
it
month's
was.
report.
I just forgot to take it off the agenda when I was doing Paul's agenda for him.
Okay, new meeting times, we went back and forth several times, between 5 and 7. Paul set it for 5 o'clock, the board agreed tonight. We need a motion, let's see, what are we gonna have, at what time you wanna have meetings?
I make a motion that we do it at 5:30.
5:30?
I'll second.
Have a motion with support to set the fire administrative board meetings at 5:30 PM. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried, thank you.
Now, does that start next meeting?
Next meeting.
It'll start next meeting. I'll change all of the information online and get that taken care of.
Okay, fire chief's report.
Not a whole lot to report. We've got one, representing White Pigeon in the 2024 Fire Academy. Equipment seems to be good order. As we approach the end of our fiscal year, the budget looks good. We'd like to make some, safety improvements to our lighting on 516, the tanker truck. It's got the older style, halogen lights. I'd like to improve those with some LEDs and some chevron, on the back. For on-scene safety, we do have some, software improvements that, we'll need to consider, moving forward this next calendar year, or fiscal year rather. The software we use was purchased by another company, and rates are climbing just like everything else. At some point in time, we'd like to consider replacing the, yard barn out here with something a little more modern, more secure. I'd like to consider a few new, hires for this year as the year goes on. CPR class was just recently held. I think we had 3, 4, was it 5? Yeah. There was 3 that pre-signed and then a couple showed up, so that's why I had that number. I think overall it was a low turnout, but it was the first time we've ever offered something like this to the community. I think it was received well. I had calls the very next day asking when the next class was gonna be, so, we're probably gonna offer another one in a few months from now, maybe try to do, 3 to 4 a year, just to help, some of the child care providers, school teachers, daycare administrators, things like that struggle to find a class. Other than that, it's been kinda quiet.
Okay, thank you. Any other, John, you got anything else?
Yeah, just, at the next meeting, if we could, I'd like to entertain the thought again about our meetings for this board, of maybe going quarterly. You know, so we'd have 4 a year instead of 6, or even less than that. Because you can always call them an emergency meeting if we needed to. But, you know, Paul's not here tonight, so I'd just like it, so that next meeting, maybe we could discuss something like that. Get you guys' input into it too. That's all I have.
Gene?
Nope.
Ken?
Nope.
Okay, to answer Anita's question, the $55,000, we did not do any of these projects out of ARPA money, they were done out of general fund money. The parking lot was all on the, ARPA money. That's what that was. We got $240,000, and I think we paid part of a boat, that rescue boat. 15,000, and the rest went into the parking lot. Backing up to Anita's question about the investigation, as I alluded to a few minutes ago, until we are provided the name, we will not be doing an investigation. We are not going to waste our time interviewing 30 firemen who have families, who have other jobs, other commitments, to come in when you know the name. You can come in, you can provide us that name in private if you'd like to, we will investigate.
Okay.
You brought it to the meeting, an open meeting, making that accusation, and then you wouldn't back it up. So until we have that name, there will be no investigation. If you provide that name to us, we will do an investigation. We will not investigate 30 employees. It's a waste of our time, their time, taxpayers' resources. Having said that, next regular meeting is April 16th, 2024. I would motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by John, supported by Kent to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, thank you.